Welcome to Easy Math TV. This is another video on our statistics series. I'm going to talk to you today about the linear regression lab in Math 150 and a few changes that got made to it. Um, the original videos that I made, I'm keeping them there, but just be aware that some of the code that you're going to be doing is there's two different versions of it. So I want to talk about the two different versions that you're going to see, and you get to decide which one that you want to actually complete. Okay. And the first thing that I need to point out to you is that you need to make sure that you have the latest version of all of the files that we need for Lab 6 or for the lab on linear regression. So please go to this original URL that I gave you at the beginning of the course, okay? This is my content. So the content that's numbered 9501258. Go to that and make a fresh copy for yourself. Make a fresh copy for yourself, okay? And what you should end up with when you go into your own workspace is you will see another copy of Rudis Mat 150 Labs. But then when you go over here in the files directory, um, under files, you'll click on Lab 6 and you should see that here's the three files. So the names of the files have not changed, but the dates have changed. So they were updated April 24th, 2026, as of the recording of this video. So you're going to want to make sure that you actually have the latest version of those. Okay, you will not be able to perform the lab in its entirety without that. I had to make a lot of changes. So your two options are this. One option is to just go through the code as you see it in the simple regression.r file. This is the exact code that you will see in the videos that follow this one. So there are the two walkthrough videos refer to this exact or precise code that you see here in simple regression.r. You will not want to open the HTML file if you're going to be doing that. Okay. So that's option number one. Option number two, though, is a little more fun. Option number two involves an interactive plot over here that's going to allow you to just play with trying to find the line of best fit yourself by hand. You won't get to do that if you just do the code that is in the .r file. So when I open simpleregression.html, this is what I see. So basically look in the top part under the data. If you are seeing this, if you are seeing the code that you see highlighted right here, okay, then that's going to take you through the interactive version, okay? And this code looks a little different from the two in the next two videos, but it's essentially the same lab. Like you're still answering the same exercises. Okay, like all 8 exercises are still the same. So it's not like you're doing any less work or any more work. It's just going to look a little different. So in this version, you're actually going to be looking at the Major League Baseball data that we used in class from the 2018 season. And you're going to want to like make sure that you have this entire thing loaded into your console and hit enter, and then that will load the data into your um, environment up here. I just want to point out too that like sometimes you get weird characters when you just copy and paste. So I want to show you what happens there. So I'm just going to copy and paste and show you what happens. So I'm going to just do that and hit enter. Okay. So if you're going to do this version, you're going to be working with the data set BAT, which are batters, and there should be 410 observations of 19 variables. Okay. So you'll be able to proceed from there. The only other thing that I'm going to mention, and then you can definitely use my walkthrough videos on regression to help you with like what comes next. But you're just going to a few of the details are going to be different. That's all. So under packages, you're going to want to make sure that you have, so pause this video at some point if you don't have this. If you don't have the stats R package, you're going to want to make sure that it is installed here. So just searching for it is going to be, uh, it, it may, R may not know that it exists, but the stats R package does exist. So over in the console, you're going to want to do this. Install dot packages, parenthesis, and then quotes stats R, double quote, and just I'm not going to hit enter because this package takes a little bit of time to load. So so you're going to want to do that. Install dot packages parenthesis quote statsr end quote parenthesis and hit enter. Then you will see the stats R package appear in your packages list. Once you do that, you will need to check the box in front. So there's two steps to this process. You have to install it first, and then you have to add it to your library. So watch what happens if I uncheck it, then it does something called detach, or it removes it from my library. If I check it, it adds it to my library. So you'll want to make sure that you actually have the statsr package installed, okay? Um, so the only other thing that I want to show you that's different from the walkthrough videos that you see coming after this one is because of this special data set that you have access to, you can do something um, called a sum of squares plot, which allows you to interact with the plot. It's really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and load this, or I'm going to run this function. So we're going to plot at bats versus runs. So we want to know if at bats is a good predictor of the number of runs scored, and our data set is bat. So I'm going to go ahead and copy. And then over here, we want to make sure our plots window is big enough that we're going to see the plot. So enter. Okay. So you'll notice that it's not done yet. It's asking me, or it's prompting me to click 2 points to make a line. So at this point, I need to pick 2 points. So I'm going to pick the one all the way to the left over here, just for fun. And I'm going to pick the point all the way over here. So all of a sudden you see all of these blue vertical lines, and I'm going to hit the zoom button so that you can see that a little bit better. I'm going to zoom in even more. So there's my plot. So I can see, just by looking at this, I can see that there's a lot more points below the line than there are above the line. And we have a few that look like influential points too. So that's just my first attempt to find the line of best fit. And we can see that the sum of squares error is 66,443.95. So one of the things you're going to be doing in the lab is you're going to repeat this plot um, exercise a couple more times. So I'm going to just type it in again, you know, and hit enter. And now it's asking me to find two more points. So I'm gonna go with this one at the bottom, near the bottom, and then let's see, let's go to this one. Oh, that's actually worse. So the sum of squares error there was 72,929. So again, if I zoom in, I want to find out what exactly went wrong there. Um, you can zoom in as much as you want to. So yeah, so like there's a lot of error. So I'm going to try that one more time. Hit the up arrow and that will restore the command that you typed in, and just hit enter. And let's try one more time. So I'm going to pick one that's kind of in the middle of all of these, this cloud down here, and maybe this one here. Okay, that's a little bit better. Um, So if I'm comparing, this sum of squares error was 66,443. This sum of squares error was 72,929. And now I got a sum of squares error closer to 50,000, 51,359. That's pretty good for just a wild guess. Um, I can tell you right now that there is a pair, like you can find 2 points, and I'm not going to tell you where they are, but there are 2 points here that if you select them, you can get a sum of squares error that's closer to 45,000. So that's going to be my challenge to you going forward. As you are working through this lab, you're just going to be copying and pasting the code that you see here. There's very little changes to the code that you're going to be making. So that's the good news. Um, and then you need to make sure that you are answering all 8 exercises, okay? There are 8 of them. You need to answer all 8 questions. And I need you to show the plots that justify your answers, okay? So um, I won't say any more in this video because I'm going to have you just follow the videos that I had posted, but just understand that there are 2 versions of this lab, depending on which one that you choose to do. And if there's any confusion at all, you can just email me and I'll help you out. But that's just to get you started, okay? And it's a lot of fun. I hope you have fun with this particular lab. Like, subscribe, comment down below if you have any questions, and enjoy the simple linear regression lab.